What is up? Welcome back. Welcome to another live stream repair. This one is a little different than usual. We're not fixing anybody's stuff in particular. This here is a stream just for me and myself. I've got a whole bunch of these logic boards for the first gen HomePod sitting around that need to get fixed. We're gonna see how many we can bring back to life here tonight. Frankly, I'm not expecting great results here. This is also the first time that I've ever done this kind of work, this kind of like soldering rework. You've seen us do thousands of HomePods and their diodes and filters and all sorts of other stuff, but this in particular, we've done a few times. You've seen us try a few times before, and we've gotten a few of them working, but it isn't without its challenges. If we get up close here, here is the storage chip, or the NAND, and quite often with these bricked HomePods, this storage chip either dies, or it's the solder that connects it to the board that dies. And the reason why that solder dies so often is because they basically use a bunch of solder balls, and they tend to, throughout many thermal cycles, they tend to expand and contract and crack and allow corrosion to do its dirty work. And we've pulled off a lot of these NAND chips and seen quite a few soldered balls completely missing. So this is unfortunately one of those things at this time where the only great way to fix them, you can't just replace the storage chip, unfortunately, with a new one. It's possible, but nobody's really figured out exactly how to do that yet, because you have to essentially remarry or reprogram the CPU right over here back to that storage chip. They're all serialized for each other, so even though we can sit here and replace the whole logic board or a whole amplifier board or a whole subwoofer, and as much as we can swap those parts around a HomePod and it doesn't care, it does care when we start swapping these chips around on this particular board. So the next best thing to try is to get an iPhone 6 storage chip reader. You can basically pop the chip off and then pop it onto an external reader and see if the chip itself is physically working or not before you bother attempting what you're going to see us try many times here tonight. That's an expensive tool, and this isn't this isn't our full-time job. This is something we do in our free time to help subsidize the ever-increasing cost of living. So we're gonna see how many of these we can fix with what we've got and what we know how to do. And if you didn't know, the common symptoms for HomePods that need this kind of work are ones that end up in a constant boot loop, or only boot up with blinking volume buttons, especially ones that seem to kind of like fix themselves, where it's got blinking volume buttons and then you unplug it and plug it in so many times and eventually it fixes itself. That's usually not the software suddenly fixing itself. Unfortunately, that is usually a sign of a hardware failure. And that's because turning it on and off is going to heat it up and cool it down and possibly expand and contract the failing solder joints in such a way that they'll temporarily reconnect and maybe make it work again for you for a little bit. But in due time, it'll just fail again. And this is one of those things that, you can't just reflow it. You can't just stick it in an oven and rebake it in place. If this is like any of the others that we've looked at, you'll see why that would never work. Alright. So I do need to practice this a little more. It looks like, unfortunately, we ripped off one of the pads here. That one right there. Dang it. But you see how this one and this one are duller and flatter than the rest of them? Same with this one right here. They're not on the board either. You see right here. They are completely gone and missing. They have oxidized and corroded into nothingness. So, unfortunately for this one, I can't just reball it and slap that back on there. I did rip that pad off the board. So, we will see, we'll do a little bit of research and see if that's a critical pad or if we can ignore it. My priority here now, though, is to try to get as many of these as I can working again. Let's see, have I worked on this one yet? No, I have not. Let's give this one a shot. Here we go. I'm gonna go up to 380. I'm getting kind of tired of ripping pads off. I'm waiting till I start to see flux bubbling out of the sides. And then I'm going to wedge my tweezer in the corner here and gently pull up on it. Geez, it happens at the worst times. I hope I didn't get it. All right. Let's get that cap put back on there. All right. Oof. We got that back on there. Any other casualties on there? Nope. Everything else survived. Let's get this chip cleaned up. No, what's up?
I'm gonna leave the screen door open for a few minutes.
Oh, is that smell?
Yeah. Lit the whole ashtray, so I did take it outside and dump it out. It smells like cat litter. And then mixed with whatever the fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what a smell.
All right, let's get some isopropyl alcohol on there. We'll clean this up. Oh, let's not forget our board either. right. Let's get our stencil. I'm going to clean that up. Let's get our solder paste, and we're going to line this stencil up here. Has a bunch of holes in it, lined up perfectly with the pads on our chip, and we're going to smear this solder paste through those holes. When we peel this off the chip, it's going to leave the perfect pattern behind, and then we can use our heat gun to melt the solder paste in place. And we've got ourselves a chip ready to go. Beautiful. So that's what that looks like. And then we'll grab our heat gun. Very nice. We'll let that one cool off. And I'm gonna grab another one. Oh, to me, this is taking a Sunday off. Oh, we went downtown today. Had some fun. And then the kid screamed all the way back to the car. She's definitely throwing those terrible twos today. But today, here and now, we're fixing stuff for fun. This ain't for anyone but ourselves, even though it's to make working parts for upcoming repairs, but it's fun for me. Alright. This one's only got one dirty pad here. So I'm skeptical of this just being a BGA issue with the NAND, but we'll give it a go. Late night, late night. I need parts, so I gotta make them myself. Okay, alright. Very hot, very hot. I'm excited to see if either of these two are working. Now, see, what happens is when I take a day off, 10 of these suckers show up in one day and drain me of all my parts that I've got. And then I'm behind. I hate being behind. Let's see what that one does. not gonna work. This one ain't gonna work still. Alright. Let's try this other one. Give me that. Dang, that one's not gonna work either, huh? That one worked. We fixed one. Yes. Oh, yes. What color is it? Hello? Oh, my Bluetooth is turned off. It's a white one. Oh, that makes me very happy. We'll put this in our pile to test. That gives me faith. That gives me hope. That motivates me to do more. Wah. Here we go. miss yourself. It's hard to tell what's fighting back, if it's the infill or the solder. Any idea if there's a way to AirPlay all of my PC audio to HomePod? If you were running Windows, you can try two different pieces of software. 3 if you can find it. TuneBlade, AirParrot, and Airfoil. Airfoil is discontinued, and unfortunately that one was my favorite. I've used TuneBlade, and I bought TuneBlade, and it works pretty well. AirParrot, I don't have a great experience with, but I see a lot of people have great experience with that one, so worth a shot there. Both of them let you use a trial mode so you can see if it works for you or not. And then there's a Chrome extension that I use that allows me to delay any of the audio in my browser. It's called FrameSync Fix for Wireless Audio Delay. And if I set like a 3-second delay, then anything I'm watching in my browser on like YouTube or whatever is perfectly synced up with the AirPlayed audio to the HomePods and everything else. Interesting, yeah. You'll have to pop back into one of my streams and let me know your thoughts when you get that all set up. I'm always curious what people think when they're comparing HomePods to something else. Even if I think, HomePods are the best thing ever, you're not going to convince me, but I'm always interested in what other people think. Nah, I'm kidding. HomePods are pretty good. They're the best, in my opinion. They are the best at what they do in particular, which is a speaker that you can put anywhere that sounds great no matter where you're standing, with decent smart home integration and great sound quality, great bass for the size and the price. You can't beat it. Sure, you can find stuff that's bigger or more expensive, but that's where I stand. That's my opinion, and I stick to it. And that's why we fix so many of these. They're just so darn good. Very nice. Yeah, especially if you can get these things for $100 each, man. I used to pay $100 each for a used Apple Hi-Fi, just to plug it into an Airport Express V2 and use that as an AirPlay speaker. Get a bunch of those around the house. That is actually what I did. Late night, you right. We're here for fun. Another one. We'll do them 2 at a time. I'll try to fix 2 of them and then we'll see if they work. And then we'll try to do 2 more. Ooh, hacking an airport into older cars. That's an excellent idea. I hacked one into my old Apple Hi-Fi. I never thought to put one into my car. That is a really good idea. I might have to do that. How did we do? Looks like we did pretty good. There it goes. Alright, who wants to see if we got any working? Marcus, welcome, welcome. Excited to see your adapters coming tomorrow. I'm hoping for the best of luck with your USB restore. Alright. Let's see if we've made any gains. Dang. Let's try this one. I don't like when they immediately light up like that. That tells me that it's most likely factory reset. And my gut feeling is just that the storage chip is dead if it's doing that, as opposed to having to touch it for it to light up even, when I plug it in when it's first turning on. But then again, that last one that we fixed and got working was reset. I'm gonna go grab... I'll wait. I was gonna grab my laptop and try to restore some of these, but I think I know what the error is gonna be if I try. Yeah, that stings. That really stings. Yeah, let me go grab my laptop and see if any of these end up restoring or not. Laptop acquired. USB adapter acquired. Alright. We're gonna have a restore a palooza here. I've got all of these logic boards off to the side here with various errors trying to restore them. And silly me didn't write on all of them what that error was. So let's see what we're dealing with. I'm gonna get my Mac screen. Oh, that scared me. I plugged a different HomePod in to test it out. Okay. My IP has changed again. Let me fix that. There we go. Okay, let's see what this one's doing. Is it? It's gonna restore. Yay, we fixed another one. Oh, good day. I guess that means we shouldn't assume after we try the hardware repair that if it doesn't work, it might still need a USB restore after. Oh, awesome. What version was this on? Let's see. Where's the last time I ran iDevice Restore? It's right here. There's the serial. Oh, I don't think it'll actually tell us what version it was on. Yeah. I guess it doesn't really matter because it was a hardware problem that bricked it in the first place. It's already 16% of the way through. It's only 8:30? Dang, dang, dang. man, this is the kind of win that I needed right now. I'm running low on working logic boards. That is chugging along. The rest of this is going to be a boring 5 or 10 more minutes here, and then I guess we're going to try another one. It's also time to bust out a new tube of flux. I hope the last tube that I got was a fluke, because I've been using this stuff for years, and it's always smelled very nice. It's always had this nice, almost tree sappy smell, which makes sense. But this last tube that I got smelled horrendous. Staunchy, like body odor, like sweaty armpits. What's even funnier is it smelled exactly the same as this iBook that I got, this G4 iBook. And I won it on Shop Goodwill's auction website for like 20 bucks. And when I got it, it smelled pretty bad. And I opened the laptop, and it just like just radiated stench. It's like you don't just smell it, you feel the physical stench like smacking your face. And I boot it up after I wipe it down, of course. And turns out there's a CD still in it. And I pop the CD out, and it's a burned CD, a blank. There's nothing written on it, like written on the physical label. So I pop it back in, and I take a look at what was on the CD, and it was clearly a laptop that was owned by somebody that I think took photography, or was a photographer for Playboy magazine, because it had a bunch of raw, unedited photos of Playboy models, stuff that was clearly that they had taken, that they didn't just download off the internet. It was like they were working for them. It was kind of weird. But the stench of the body odor, along with the work that the laptop was used for, just did not sit right with me. I wiped that thing down and down and down, and I couldn't. It still smells like it. I replaced the keyboard. I've done about everything I could think of. Still smells awful. Isn't flux horrendously bad for you to breathe in? Yeah, absolutely. 100% positively. Don't breathe this. The shmoo, no, please, no. At best, I just imagine sweaty palms, working late nights to meet deadlines, and nothing more. It was just completely innocent. Nothing weird or gross going on there. Just a hardworking lad on their iBook G4. Hard at work for Playboy. Totally working, not doing anything else. Looks like it's almost done. Let me see if I can find another power cable. Alright, restore finished. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I'm gonna put this off to the side so that we can let it test and make sure that it's good to use for someone else. I'll put it right here so you guys can see if it works or not. There. Let me get another power cable here without burning myself on my smoldering hot air rework station. And there we go. Y'all can see that turning on back here. Very cool. Let's take a look at another one here and see if that's all that it needs to. I probably should have unplugged the USB cable before I did all that. Reason being, the USB, the data lines and power lines go straight to the logic board. And would you listen to that? Our first restored HomePod booted up fine. What color is it? What color did we get? We got another white one. Okay, let's see what this one does for us. Show me the good stuff. I'd rather sit here waiting all night on HomePod successfully restoring than reball a bunch of logic boards that end up not working anyways. Uh-oh, this one's not gonna work. It's sitting there at waiting for NAND. So this one, either we didn't do a good enough job reballing it, or the storage chip's physically dead. Same error that we saw attempting to restore it before we tried anything on it, so I'm not too surprised. But let's try this next one here. Alright, clean terminal. Own it. Reset it. Try to restore it. I could do all of this by myself without streaming any of it, but I mean it's no extra effort for me to turn the camera on and click stream now. Figured it'd be a good opportunity for people that feel bad to bother me with questions while we're fixing stuff. And, you know, as much as I want every single bricked HomePod that shows up here to be as easy as plug in a USB cable and click restore, even if we try to fix the hardware that's causing it to not restore, that's just not always the case. And again with this one too, looks like the storage chip is either dead or we didn't do a good enough job sticking it back on there, so we'll go ahead and abandon that. This one's strange because I did have it working at one point. I've got written on here won't set up. But I would assume that, like many of these, that it is simply a dying storage chip. Let's try a few more here. Let's keep trying these boards that I've already reballed. Question for the DIY speaker you got. Do you need to use specific solder for the crossover assembly? Frankly, I'm not aware of a reason for it to be different. In general, I use my standard, 6337 leaded solder for most things. The only exception to that for me is the chips, like the storage chip. When we reball those, we still use the same flux, but we use the solder paste, and we use a specific SMD formulated solder paste for surface mount components. Aside from that, I'm not sure if a crossover assembly would have a specific requirement for solder. I would say in general for speakers and equipment that's going to experience high vibrations or shaking, you don't want to use low melt solder. The lower the melt, the more brittle it is and easier it is to just break apart. That's something that we learned early on with repairing HomePods. Is we started with low melt solder for the filters because it made it a lot quicker and easier, and we didn't want to subject the caps to too much heat. But turns out they don't really care too much. As a matter of fact, that's how you recondition capacitors, by bringing them to their Curie temp. But in any case, a little bit of heat's not going to hurt them, and it's better in the long term to just use the full-on normal leaded solder instead of the low melt stuff, just to try to save a little bit of time and effort on the caps. To my surprise, look at that, we've got another one that's taking a USB restore. I am living for it. This is great. You know, maybe we can pull up some emails while we're waiting for this to restore. I'm not going to share any emails on screen because people tend to share personal info, obviously, but let's see what email, let's see what's in our inbox. I still have 30 unread emails that I need to catch up on. Let's see, we got someone saying Happy Thanksgiving. We've got somebody ordering a USB adapter. Let's go ahead and get them a tracking number so they're not thinking that we're taking their money and running. They're in the US, so we can do a flat rate box for them. I get people a lot emailing me like, wow, $9 to ship this across the country, that's a lot. Can you do it for any less? And I tell them, I'm like, yeah, I can do $6 or $7. UPS will get it to you. It'll take a few days longer. And they're like, oh, what the heck? No, I'll just get the $9 shipping. We've got somebody in Germany. Oh, looks like they almost didn't get their adapter, but funny enough, a day after they said they didn't get anything, they got it. That's usually why I don't immediately reply to emails. I don't stress myself out too much about it. Honestly, half the time, things resolve themselves. Unfortunately, sometimes people are rather impatient and they don't hear from me in a few hours and they run off to get it fixed from someone else. But I can't worry about those people because those people tend to end up taking way more of your time. They're way more maintenance, and I'm here to, I'm here to help people, but I also don't have all the time in the world to chit chat and small talk and make friends with a million people on such a low level. If this was my full-time job, it would be it might be a slightly different story. I might feel more motivated to immediately respond to everybody, but I don't like texting, I don't like phone calls. I hate it all. It's quite surprising because I kind of signed myself up for all of this. Let's see, they have an error. They got their adapter error, unable to restore device. Let's see what they've got here. .console. Let's get a .text file. Where are my file extensions? Oh, it's not. It didn't even give it a file extension. That's why. Okay, so. Oh, timeout waiting for NVRAM service. Yep, okay, so this fellow got one of our adapters, shipped to Germany, got hung up in customs, but they did get it. Unfortunately, they were dinged with a couple bucks in customs fees. You can't avoid it. You can declare it a gift, you can say it's gonna win them a Nobel Peace Prize, and they're still gonna get dinged. You're still gonna get dinged for customs fees. Sound like an introvert. I am definitely very much an introvert, it feels. At least on most days. So anyways, they got their adapter, unable to restore. I see an error right above unable to restore that says timeout waiting for NVRAM service. What do you see written on our logic board right here? Timeout waiting NVRAM. It's quite a common error that we see when we're trying to USB restore these. As you've seen here many times too, that's a dying storage chip or a failing VGA. see, they're in Germany. I think there's someone in Germany offering repairs. Let's see. There's 2 people in Germany offering repairs. Let's, we'll shoot them their contact info and hopefully, see, I hate selling stuff. I hate selling products like these USB adapters because, you know, people can be totally willing to accept that it's a risk, it's a gamble. Like, there's no guarantee that your bricked HomePod is just a software issue that can be restored like this. And not just that, but you can't even really tell without trying. What kind of crap is that? So, like, to sell a product that's based on the chance that you might be able to fix your HomePod I hate it. But there were so many people demanding that I do it. And I even put the files out there. Timstar already made an adapter. I tweaked it and made it a little better. And we've both put our files out there, and people still insisted on me making and selling them. So here we are. I still feel like people can be like, yeah, I don't care if it doesn't work. I still want to try. And I'm still going to feel bad about it. I am much happier fixing stuff. I'm much happier taking something in that I can fix, or at the very least I've got the parts to replace what needs to be replaced to fix it and send it back to them. I like to make people happy. I don't like I don't know. Even if I'm not the source of the disappointment, I don't like kind of adding to the sting, especially when money's involved. Can you tell I'm not much of a businessman? Awesome. So this one took the restore. Let's see. Let's go ahead and pop it on our test pod here. What did I do with it? Which one was it? Oh goodness. Oh, it's over here. One of the reasons why I'm trying to do so many of these is in the off chance Apple pushes a software update out that makes it so we can no longer USB restore them. So we can hardware fix as much as we want, but if it needs a USB restore, if it needs the software restored from that hardware failure, then we'll be out of luck. We'll be back to the same square that we were before there was a software fix. So I'm trying to stock up on as many of these as I can while I can. Alright, we've got our logic board plugged in over there, turning on. What happened to my Mac screen? Let's get that back on. There we go. Okay, let's try another logic board. Just think of the ones that it worked for. You know, I get a lot of people that say that it worked for them. I'm careful to tell people, you know, what the chances of it working are, how many people have told me it works or not, because there's a lot of confirmation bias, and there's a lot of bias around that. I have no idea. Sweet, it works. I don't know how many people, tried what. You don't know how many people. I just don't want people to get a false sense of like, oh, well, because, he's had so many working for him, I've got this chance of it working for me too. I have no numbers, no hard statistics or way to tell, frankly, what like your chances of like a blinking volume button HomePod being a hardware or software issue. There's just there's no great way to know or tell that from our perspective. Apple, on the other hand, I'm sure they've got access to the info that they would need to know that. What's it gonna do? What's it gonna do? Let's see what color we ended up with on this freshly restored HomePod in the corner here. We've got a black one. Very nice. I needed a black one. As long as people know that they're spending what they're spending their money on, it's not on me. Yeah, I try not to worry and stress out about it. It's still it is what it is. And on the bright side, it's not like the adapter's completely useless to them just because it couldn't restore that one HomePod. They can still take that adapter and try to fix their friends' HomePods. If they've got any other working HomePods, they can use it for the USB AirPlay functionality that we found. There's multiple uses for it. I tried to make it as best as it could be, and I think we did pretty good. So this one's got an interesting error. Please make sure that USB MuxD is running. I have a feeling we might have put this one through a little too much trying to fix it. So now let's see if there's any errors up to this point. So it's just device failed to enter restore mode. Yeah. Oh, it's not the first time I've seen that. I've got a few others that have that same error. So, I have a feeling that might not be an end issue, but I'm not positive. Let's try another one here. Yeah, that's true. I've pretty much achieved the majority of what I set out to do, which was document and solve all of these different issues with these HomePods. I think we've, all of the common ones we've gotten a pretty good handle of. What's the extra part I send with the adapter? So you might be talking about... You might be talking about the stand. This is an older version of the stand. The new version of the stand that I send out is completely hollow, and it's just a ring, but it's two-part. So the stand will. Let me grab a HomePod. The stand fits perfectly over the crystal plastic top, so when you've got your HomePod upside down on a table like here, you're not scratching that top up when you're moving it around trying to restore it. And then the other side of the stand is made for you to set the HomePod on a table upright with the adapter still connected. And the reason why you need a stand with it, if you're going to sit it on a table like this with the adapter connected, is the adapter sticks out of the bottom a little bit. And if you were to just sit it on a table without anything else, you're going to crush the adapter and push it into the debug port and break stuff. So I made this stand that sits around that. So if you want to use it plugged into a table upright for like USB AirPlay or seeing what other kind of things it can do with USB, it'll protect that adapter. And then, like I said, upside down, it'll protect the top from getting scratched up. This is the older version. In the past few weeks, I've basically taken all of this out, and it's just the outer ring, and it still fits over the top and bottom. Sometimes a simpler design is the better one, and I got so I spent so much time trying to make this when I could have made something much easier. I don't have any of them in here. I wish I could show you. There's pictures of it on my shop website of the current version, but all right. So this one, timeout waiting for NVRAM service, same issue as before. So I imagine. Its storage chip is physically dead. Let's grab another one. You bet I have got no shortage of these. We're gonna keep going. Actually, we're not gonna go for much longer, because I do want to take a little bit of time off. I'm gonna go after this. I'll probably go catch up on the rest of my emails, watch a couple of YouTube videos, and then pass out and get ready for work on Monday. We got a couple Vision Pros at work for one of our customers' projects. Supposedly it's going to help us remotely support them better. They're having a hard time convincing some of us, but frankly, if they want to spend the money on it, who are we to stop them? I got a chance to play with it, and I thought it was really neat. It's not my first VR experience, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I don't know if I could spend $2.5, $3.5 grand on one. I would easily spend $1,500 up to, and that's still a bitter pill to swallow, but. Another one waiting for NAND. I'll go ahead and abandon that. Another one. How about this? For each like, I will keep trying logic boards. So we've got 3 likes right now. I'll do 3 more logic boards. And if you guys can get more likes, I'll keep trying more logic boards. And when we run out of likes or logic boards, I'm leaving for the night. Y'all are on your own. Let's see what this one does. Gaster Pone. Oh. We don't even have USB into this one. Well, we've got DFU into it, but it's not even getting pwned. It's just hanging out there. I wonder if it's not no, it's connecting. Wow. I mean, that's not the first time I've seen that. I've got a couple of them that don't even get that far. I just don't know what it is yet. I would assume it's a much more severe issue, like the CPU itself, maybe. Alright, someone left another like. Alright, so we've got this one and then 3 more to try then. Alright, that one took the pwn. It takes the reset. Oh, we do have an iBoot version there, but I think that's the version that we send to the HomePod. So that's just going to show the latest. Polyphia. Ooh. Yeah, thanks for dropping by, Likely Laggin'. Hope to see you again here soon. We'll try to do more late night chill streams like this. It's pretty much up to the kid. If we can get the kid asleep, then we've got all the free time at the night that we need. Oh Jesus, is this one restoring? Oh, I love it. Yes, yes, yes. Would you look at that? Beautiful. It's tempting not to just buy a bunch of Macs just to be able to restore a bunch of these at the same time. Actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you can target a specific device. So in theory, I should be able to restore multiple HomePods with one computer at the same time. Do we want to try that? I want to try it. I happen to have a freshly made V1 USB adapter here that's about to go out to someone. This will be a good opportunity to test it out, make sure it's working before we send it off to them. If this works, I'm gonna feel like the genie that got let out of his lamp. I already feel like the genie that got let out of his lamp after we figured out how to restore these things. See, the cool thing about it interfering with a successful restore is if it does, I can just do it again to fix it, just one at a time. We'll have learned a lesson, but it won't be any harm done. Just a few minutes wasted. Not even wasted, I'd say. We're still learning. We're learning here. I've seen people talk about doing this. Not HomePods in particular, but just restoring multiple devices at the same time. I don't think this one will restore. I'm pretty sure this one has an issue and we've already tried, but we're gonna do it just to see what happens and if it interferes with the one that we know is restoring. Oh, and the other question is, we're going to have to run Gaster. Can we target the device with Gaster too? No, we can't. Okay, I don't think we can do it then. I don't think we can do multiple. Because if I run Gaster, Pwn and Gaster reset, it's probably going to run it on. There's no telling which one it'll run it on. Dang it. Oh, it's so tempting though. No, we shall not. I won't risk it. I won't bother. Maybe I can figure out how to make Gaster target a particular device and push that as like a let's see. I have no idea what I'm doing. Payload handle checkmate request. I'm gonna throw spaghetti at the wall here and see if No. This is just a license to... Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get Gaster to do multiple devices, or at least it would be a lot of effort to target a specific device with Gaster and figure out how to do that. I trust you guys won't do anything funny. I'm gonna have to put this stream on private and blur that all out. Oh, cool. I can take away the DVR too, that's interesting. Alright, well I'm gonna unlist this just because I don't want anybody doing anything funny with anybody's contact info. I don't think any of you guys would, but I don't want somebody in the future coming back to one of my 1,000 live streams and seeing somebody's personal info and giving them a bad time. Almost done restoring. Restore finish. Yes. Let's see what it does. It's turning on. Let's try another one here. I think I owe you guys 3 more. Oops. Let me try that again. And it sounds like that other one booted up fine. There we go. Another one taking a restore? Oh, what good luck tonight. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Are these all Reball logic boards? Yes, they are. Every single one of these that we've been trying. Sadly, some of them we didn't try a USB restore after trying the Reball. But it wouldn't have made a difference if it was a customer's HomePod. It would have been the same price that we would have charged them if we were able to repair the logic board with a Reball, or if we had to replace it. It would have been the same. And in fact, more often than not, I don't even try doing any hardware repairs on these logic boards during a normal repair live stream, just because it takes so long and it might not even work. For the sake of time, I tend to swap them out for a good working one, and then when I've got so many that need fixed stacked up like today, then I go through and try to fix as many of them as I can. Let's see, so far we've got 4 logic boards, it looks like, that we got working again. Not including this one, so 5 actually. That's not bad. Alright, I've got 2 more here that we'll try after this one, and that'll be it for tonight. good. Very nice. Let's go 2 more here. Waiting for NAND. That one's not gonna work. Go ahead and abort that. Last one. What's it gonna be? Oh. It's gonna be one that doesn't do nothing. Well, that's not fair. That's no fun. I won't call that a good last one. Let's pretend we didn't try that one and let's try one more. This one takes the pound. It's real slow. It tried a lot. What's it gonna do? What's it gonna do? Does my screen deceive me? Is that restoring? Really? What a great way to end the stream. I'm glad we didn't try that other one, huh? I'm glad we pretended that one didn't happen. Look at that. Well, folks, I'm not gonna bore you all with watching paint dry one last time here. It's gonna take this restore and it's gonna work. With that, I'm gonna leave you guys. I hope you all enjoyed this live stream hangout and fix some stuff. And I hope to catch you in the next one. Goodbye.